I'll open it up for some questions.
Well, those kind of stress you out a little bit. You know, we talked about Brillion basketball before the game and the things that we stand for, trying to play great defense and let that be our mantra. And I thought our kids did a great job of defending. It isn't always pretty. They worked extremely hard, and I'm very proud of how we competed on that end. Gale Electric Trempeau's defense was just as good. It doesn't look as intense maybe as what we do man-to-man, but they were long, they defended, they took away a lot of things that we tried to do, and they just did a great job of competing. I thought it was two high school teams that played extremely hard, and we were fortunate today to come out with a few more baskets and make the difference.
Questions?
Coach, could you talk about that little offensive burst we saw from Trevor? They got within two, and then he just lit it up on the next three possessions and gave you guys some breathing room again.
That was typical Trevor there. If you remember, prior to that, he had a couple plays that he won't want to talk about very well, and he's just a great competitor. When he makes mistakes, he just comes back and competes, and I thought, that you talk about a guy that's stepping up, that realized that, I've maybe got to make a play here, and I thought he did that. And the thing that's been special about our group, this group, not just this year, but the last years that these guys have been part of our program, is they are extremely tight. They believe in each other. There's a lot of belief that no matter who it is, we're going to get somebody to step up, and I thought Trevor at that point really turned the tide of the game.
Blake, you had a pretty tough defensive matchup today, but talk about the matchup against Gale Electric and just your defense and how you guys just kind of thrive with that.
Well, we talked last night that they have three very good players, number 5 being one of them, and we knew that we'd have to play great team defense, and I had a lot of help with guarding him, and that just made the difference, just playing great team defense, and that's what we have done all year. So.
Pete, by some quick research, it appears that you're only the second coach ever to win WIAA football and boys basketball title. You think about all the legacy that's been established here at Brillion and what you've accomplished?
I really don't. I think this high school sports is so much about the kids, and there are so many pieces to be successful. I've been very blessed. The Lord has surrounded me with some awesome support systems. I have great assistants. My wife is unbelievable. My family, our community, and then players. If you pay really close attention, a lot of these guys have been involved in some of those other successful teams, and I'm not foolish enough to think that it doesn't happen without great kids and great support from their families. So. I'm proud of our kids today. They've done just a great job representing our school and community, and I couldn't be happier for them.
You guys talked about, or touched on the defense a little bit here, but can you talk about specifically what you had to do to try and control Chris Johnson, number 42 inside? He had a big game yesterday. He got to the line once today and only got 4 shots off.
Well, our plan was a little bit different maybe than what we'd seen. We tend to try to front in the low post to try to get around in front of him and make passing the ball to him. Because I thought when he caught the ball with his back to the basket, he was pretty tough to stop. And so we first tried to get around, see if we could front and deny him in the post, not let the ball get in there. And then the second thing is we tried to help out so that he couldn't spin once he did get it, because he is so quick at turning to the basket that that was kind of plan B. We were hoping that we wouldn't get to that situation. We could get around in front and not let the ball get in the post, which we did a decent job of. And those times that he did catch it close to the basket, I thought our help defense was very solid.
Blake, can you address the 12 seconds into the second quarter, Riley Bampick, number 5, picks up his 3rd foul. Did you notice a change in his game, or did that give you a mental edge at that point, knowing that he had to play a little more careful?
I didn't really think about it much. He's a great player, and we knew that he was going to try to step it up soon in the game, because he's just that kind of competitor. And once we got later into the game, you could tell he was trying to step it up. And he didn't really worry about those 3 fouls. He just played great, and he competed very well.
Hey, Coach, I don't think you guys have lost in a couple months. I mean, since I think it was the 9th game of the season. Did anything click? Did anything change, or were the boys just growing? What do you think?
I think that's part of it is growing. The season's a long time, and I talk about a lot to our guys about. If you look at the NFL and pay attention, the best team didn't win the Super Bowl the last 2 years. The best team that played for 3 months, it was the team that could play well down the stretch. So our kids did a great job, I thought, of focusing and kind of regrouping. Towards the end of January, early February, I felt we were playing okay, but we weren't really on edge like we did. And we took some time and sat down and talked about what things we needed to identify to get better. And I think these guys are great competitors, and once they evaluated and decided things they had to get better at, you know, I thought they really zeroed in, and our intensity just seemed to get better practice-wise, game-wise. I thought they really picked up. You know, and we even took one practice on a Friday, and we practiced all the little things: how to shake hands with your teammate, how to help him up when he dives on the floor, how to check in and out of the game like a 5th grader, you know, and tell the guy who you got. And I just thought that that really, those little things made a big difference, and you have to have a special group that can handle those things, and these guys did a great job of that.
Trevor, first, then Blake, you guys have some pretty serious expressions on your face right now. You're state champs. I mean, how's it feel?
It feels pretty good. I mean, as a little kid, this is what you dream about growing up, and now to experience it, it's a great feeling. It's undescribable, and it's just great with our group of guys. We have a great group of guys. I wouldn't be with anybody else if I could be.
I just love my teammates. We worked extremely hard for this, and it's like a dream come true. I couldn't be more happy. The Lord's blessed me with great coaches, great players to play with, and I couldn't love our team anymore.
Trevor, the question for you. Coach may not want you to talk about those 2 turnovers, but I'm going to ask you about them. And you know, they cut it to 1 after the second one, I believe, 1 or 2. I mean, were you thinking those mistakes when you got back in the offensive end, or did you erase it from your mind and just go out and let that shot go?
Well, it frustrated me a little bit. I get frustrated pretty easily, but I knew that there was a lot of game left to play, and I had to just try to step up for my team and just keep my head in the game, and hopefully get a few turnovers to lead some to offense, or do whatever I could to help the team out.
Pete, open up the 3rd quarter, backdoor try once again, led to a layup similar to what you did yesterday, and I saw the guys tried it a couple more times without success, but did you see something? Let's open up the same way in the 3rd quarter.
Put that in yesterday. Ron Prochnow, my assistant coach, watching tape, said, I think we can take advantage of that diagonal if we do it real quick. We aren't going to get it a lot, but they're so active on the wings that if we made a quick swing pass and then looked diagonal quickly, we could get that. And we tried it once in the first half and didn't really execute it quick enough. And then in the second half, we were able to get that quick one. And you know, those points all add up, and I'll give all the credit to him in that situation.
Coach, I'll try to be politically correct when I speak about this, but none of your players are going to have to duck when they go through a doorway. But yet you out-rebounded them, and you're just very aggressive. Talk a little bit about your rebounding.
I think I'll be safe too. We talk a lot about rebounding, and you know, we work on rebounding drill. I'm not a great teacher of rebounding skills. You know, I always tell kids, rebounding is not a physical skill. Every one of you can turn around and pivot, but I think rebounding is such a mental skill, and it starts with that attitude that, number 1, every shot is a miss. You got to assume every shot is a miss. I teach math, so I tell them to do the statistics. Very few teams shoot 50%. You're going to be ahead more often than not if you make that assumption. And then I talk about you try to get a body on a guy, then you got to go get the ball. You know, it's got to be desired. You've got to decide that that's going to be your ball, and I thought that our kids did a great job of that in the second part of the season. We talked about those 3 things that they identified. Rebounding was one of the 3 things that these guys identified at the end of January as something that they had to get better at, and I thought we did just an outstanding job of that at the end of the season.
See no other questions? Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. Okay, great. Thank you.